So continuing on from the last episode, first thing we're going to try to do is get that handbrake so that it comes on a bit earlier. Okay, we're trying to adjust the handbrake cable, and my understanding is I need to pull on the handbrake like that and tighten this. So I've got 9/16 here. Now the handbrake is already at 5 clicks, and no, that's still moving. So let's try now. So I'm twisting the cable at the same time, which can't be what I want to do. Okay, so an 8. Doesn't seem to be making any difference at all, to be honest. Oh, that is getting tighter. Okay. So I'm trying to, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but I'm turning it with the wheel with my foot every now and then. Okay, right, and that seems to have locked up this wheel. Well, not quite, but certainly a lot better. I'm going to take the handbrake off. I'm going to see if it moves more easily. Right, so at 6 clicks it's now locked. Okay, so that is better. And I'm thinking that's probably, yeah, that's probably released. Okay, so we're going to try a little bit more now. I don't know if you could see that, so let's just capture that. So with the handbrake off, and now if we come up 6, and we've now got really firm. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the handbrake off again, come up 5, because I'd like it locked in on 5. It says 4 to 5. I'd like 5. We're going to go back under and try tighten it up a little bit more. So it doesn't seem to be making any difference really on this level. Right, I've released the handbrake cable. That should make it easier to pull it in a bit. Okay, well, that's a heavy lock on 4. So that is too tight now. I don't think that is particularly, oh maybe. Right, we're going to try that for a little bit. That seems to run okay when the handbrake is off, and seems to be locked when it's on. So you can see there, that's the handbrake on 5 clicks. And over here on the wheel, I can't particularly turn it. I don't know if you could see that, but I can't turn it. I take the handbrake off, and that seems to be okay. And again, if I put the handbrake back on, 5 clicks, and there we have it. Good. So I think we're okay there. I just wanted to show that the handbrake, not only is it working, but also it doesn't come on now until you get that click. So as you're driving along, it's not coming along. So so it's still taking 6 clicks to come fully on and hold it on this little slope, but you know, that's 2 or 3 less than it was. I was aiming for 5, and there is some tension on 5 now, but it's not quite there. But I think this is good enough for now. So yeah, MOT didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. So we've got a few issues on there. Now the top 3 about the lights and the repair as soon as possible about the registration light, they all happened as I was driving there, and this fuse blew. So all those lights stopped working. I didn't have a spare fuse with me, so I think if that had been the only issue, I might have had a discussion with them. But and actually, it's the second time that fuse has gone, so anyone who can give me some advice on how to track down what's causing it would be helpful. The other issue was the exhaust. Now, a week ago when they did a practice run, it passed the exhaust. The CO was at 0.91%. It has to be below 4.5. And last weekend I did some tuning, make it run better. And when they did the CO testing, it was 9.07%. So that was a huge amount I'd done. It's running a lot better, but rather rich now. So I'm not going to bore you with watching me try to do the timing and tuning again, but I'm going to have another go and see if I can get it running. Well, see if it's wildly out, and if it's not wildly out, I'm just going to weaken off the mixture. But I'm going to try it again, make sure I've got properly warmed engine. I've got the vacuum pipe knot on and all of that kind of stuff. Just do it one more time to be certain that I've done it right. I don't know how well that's showing. One of the things on the MOT was that this hose is a bit loose and or a bit frayed, worn. I just did a test drive having redone the timing was fine, but I played around with the carbs a bit and rebalanced them. And I've come back from that and a huge amount of smoke out of this brake. So I think things now gone on the brake. Oh! Anyway, let's have a look. Well, I've taken the wheel off. I had a bit of grease, I don't know how well you can see it, but I had a bit of grease on here which I've cleaned off. I haven't been able to see anything else in here, and certainly back here I haven't been able to find any leak from either the brake or from from the damper, and the wheel is turning freely, and has been the whole time. So I think what I'll do is I'll put the wheel back on and give it another drive and see what it's like. But I'm also going to take off the other front wheel first, because if I go over here and spin it, I've got this, I don't know what that noise is, but I've got this click click, so I want to work out what that is and get that off first. Okay, I know I didn't film this side, but I've taken the wheel off, I've put it back on. That clicking's gone. What had actually happened is that the stub axle hubcap, or whatever it's called, had come loose and was moving about in there. So that's and that was because the cotter pin was sticking out a little bit into it. So that's all sorted now. Okay, I'm under the car. This is the rear near side. We can see I've got a bit of a leak on this rear damper. So it's not from here because it's leaking. I've got fluid up here, which kind of means it must be right up at the top there, or it's in here. Sorry, right up at the top here, hidden up there, or it's in this joint somewhere. Now, I wouldn't have thought there was any way into this joint, so it must be, I don't know, or it's from the, you know, where the lid is connected on. Now, I didn't take the lid off on this, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean it all up and then have another look at it in a couple of days. Okay, so I've worked through this list now. The top three, all to do with lights, plus this one was fuse that had gone. I need to keep an eye on that because that's the second time the fuse has gone, but that's working fine now. The exhaust emissions, well, I did the timing, which looked good to me still. I did the balancing again, which was very slightly out, so I've corrected that. And then I've done the carbs. Now what I've done is I've just weakened it off, and it's now feels to me like it needs the choke all the time to drive a bit, but it's what we're doing. Then if we go down, seatbelt I haven't touched. Seat slightly loose. Okay, so I took the seat out to try to deal with the handbrake, and about 3 days later I found a little nut on the ground, and actually that nut was under the that seat, and the nut that's in there isn't holding it, allowing it to go in all the way. This one was on the end in order to tighten it up, so that's back on. The headlights aren't really loose, so I put a bit of insulation tape around that just to pack it in a little bit better, and that's okay now. The brake hose slightly deteriorated front near side. I don't have a spare brake hose at the moment, so that's something I'll have to do later, but this is just advisory. The near side rear shock absorber damper is leaking slightly, but we had a look at that. We've cleaned it off. We'll have a look again to see if we've got more coming out. The vehicle structure, offside rear, offside inner. So I'm not sure what the corroded structural rigidity knot is referring to. The offside inner rail, I think it was that it's slightly corroded and it just needs a bead of weld along there. I think I know where he means. I just haven't been under again to sort it. But I've had a look to find out what it is. But I'm not going to worry about those, all of those advisories. Just the ones that I could tick off easily. So with that done, I'm going to move on to the thing that's still not working on this car. Is I'm going to look at the overdrive now. So I'm going to start by just seeing if I've got the right electrical connections going around as best I can.